What's going on, everyone? I know I'm looking like Jason Blaha right now. I'm even sipping my morning coffee, but I had my staff Christmas party last night and I'm feeling a bit hungover. But I haven't done a video in a while, so on average I try to get out 3 videos a week. So I decided I'd do a Q&A today. I didn't post a thread. I'm just using the questions that I didn't get to answer from the last day. So Q&A part 2, let's kick it off. I know IIFYM works, but is there any pros or big names out there who follow it? By IIFYM, I presume you mean when you count how many carbs, fat, protein, vitamin, minerals and fibre you're taking in and aim for a certain number. Yeah, to name a few: Steve Cook, Lazar Angelov, Ryan Terry, Rob Riches, Joseph Rakic, Rob Lipset, Greg Plitt, and let's throw in a bodybuilder in there, John Meadows. This is actually taken from John Meadows' website, who is a high-profile coach. So, what do I think about grains and gluten and wheat, etc.? It's simple. If they make you feel bad, don't eat them. If you don't have an issue with, say, gluten, go ahead and have a few slices of toast with your eggs. I also believe in having fun and doing things like going to a pancake breakfast with your family. As long as 90% of your carbs are coming from whole food sources, feel free to live a little. Well said, Meadows. I couldn't agree more. I also love pancakes. A lot of people have the complete wrong idea of if it fits your macros. For example, let's take a look at my macros from my last cut. They were protein 200, carbs 250 and fat 50. Do you really think I'm going to hit 200 grams of protein and keep fat under 50 grams if I eat a ton of Pop-Tarts and ice cream? No. And not to mention, let's say I eat a big bag of Haribo and take out half my carbs. I am going to be hungry as fuck for the rest of the day. It's more just adding a bit of sauce to your dinner to make it taste good, or adding a bit of Nutella to your oats. You're going to end up eating whole foods 90% of the time to hit your macros anyways. What's the most meats you ever got at Wes back in the day? Serious? About 350. How can I prevent my back rounding on deadlifts? Brett Gibbs has a good tip for this. Imagine the bar is not going to move and you are pulling your body through the floor. Squirrel. Sorry, I'm easily distracted. Zyzz or Jeff Seid? Well, in terms of physique, I think they are both awesome. In terms of personality, Zyzz, I thought he was hilarious and he came out with some good words of advice and some good quotes when he was being serious. And then as for Jeff, I am like the opposite of a hater. I have respect for anyone who is achieving success, especially at a young age. And Jeff also, he did this video called The Shredded Pyramid, and it was basically giving out terrible nutrition advice. And you know, he got a lot of flack for it, but he got the video taken down and came out and said, yo, I'm sorry, I was wrong, that was bullshit nutritional advice. So well done to Jeff for admitting he was wrong on that one. It is tough to admit when you're wrong, especially on the internet. What's your favorite exercise? It differs from time to time, but I would probably say cable chest flies. Get such a good contraction, such a good squeeze, and I love looking in the mirror and giving yourself a sneaky mire. Is there any point in increasing your fats on a bulk as opposed to carbs? Now, this will differ from person to person and it will come down to personal preference in some cases, but for the overwhelming majority of people, you will see better results from increasing carbs. There comes a point with fat intake, just like protein intake, where more is not better. There's a point where going over that is not going to provide you any extra benefits. Is it okay to not eat after the gym and go to bed afterwards and just eat a big meal in the morning time? One of your videos talked about total caloric intake and how as long as you get all your calories in during the day, you're on the right track. So I presume it would be okay. Question mark, exclamation mark. Dude's probably like freaking out, I'm losing my gains. But yeah, sure thing. A lot of the times post-workout nutrition will depend on what you've had before your workout. So as you've said, you've done a full day of eating. You're going to have plenty of overlapping nutrients. A full day of food doesn't digest in 1 to 2 hours. So yeah, train, go to sleep, don't worry about it, have a good sleep. As you said, your overall total macronutrient intake is far more important than nutrient timing. Not even up for debate. I am a student down in Clongowes like you were in the past. As you know, we have set meals that we have to go to. From a student's perspective, how would you get the most out of your diet? We can't exactly count macros or anything. First of all, the food down in Clongowes is great. I loved it. Apart from Fish Friday and when they give you breakfast for dinner. But really don't worry about counting macros. Anyone under the age of 18 should just focus on eating a lot and training your ass off. This is a time where you are growing. Take advantage of that now because you won't get to in the future. So the meals down there tend to be predominantly carb based, no problem there. You can get fats in easily, you can drink a lot of whole milk, you can take as much eggs as you want at breakfast. Protein would probably be the hardest to get in, so my recommendations are 1, go up for seconds, which you are allowed to do, and 2, throw in 1 or 2 scoops of protein on top of your diet, just kind of like for insurance, just to ensure you're getting enough protein. But as I know, supplements are forbidden in Clongowes Wood College. So I want you to show this video to your teachers. Father Maloney, Frank Kelly, Tom Carroll, hell, show it to Miss O'Shea and Mr. Nelson for the crack. Protein is not a supplement. It is a food that comes from dairy. The milk you drink in the morning is made up of casein and whey protein. On top of that, you don't supplement your diet with protein. I don't eat 200 grams of protein and then throw 2 scoops on top of that. You use it in your diet, you incorporate it into your diet to reach those numbers. So show this to your teachers and tell them I truly miss them all. And nowadays when I do things like drinking, acting the fool, sneaking out to the nightclub, it's just not as fun when no one's trying to catch you. So enjoy your time down there. Get it? Time? Inside joke. Would you say you're more interested in the training side of fitness or the diet side? I would have to say the diet and nutrition side. I just think there's more to cover. For example, once you've learned the physiological and the scientific aspect of nutrition, you then have to go look at the psychological side of things, and then you have to incorporate everything and so on. And I think it's just more interesting in general. Then with training, you actually want to keep things as simple as possible for as long as possible and save the more advanced programming for when you actually need it. You can build a top-class physique without having to complicate your training too much. Well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. The more that you do, the faster the channel will grow. That's all for me today. I am out.